so much. What a wonderful and packed session we had before us. Continuing with the trend which my industry peers just said in the morning, Sunil, Ralph and Captain Rajesh, badgering the married men, I would also, just give one of the things. How many married men here have girlfriends? Okay, Sunil. Okay, perfect. Those who don't, let me tell you that security agency and the security function comes into play. And that's what we are going to discuss. Yeah, you are spared. Great. Right, coming back to the business. In today's, rapidly evolving security threat landscape, it becomes very important to keep upgrading ourselves in terms of security, in terms of safety, keep pace with the technology, and ensure that we are safeguarding everything, whether it is material, men, property, infrastructure, etc. On one hand, we would have observed the traditional security for quite experienced people here sitting in this room, typical physical guarding, etc. And on the other hand, today, there is a lot of technology which has come into play. And we see so many technological advancements in security as a function that sometimes it becomes a little challenging for us to keep pace with it, right? So, to start the session, I would pose this question to you, Sunita, that what is your perspective of, integrating the traditional security with the technological advancements?
Right, thanks. As being part of the facility, it becomes really important for all of us to safeguard our site, assets, as well as people, right? So my perspective to this is keeping in mind that most of the companies or most of the category of the business is actually moving towards technology in every way. So according to me, artificial intelligence, it incorporates machine learning into our security systems. So now, what does this do? It actually has ability to, predict, then detect, and also react to any kind of potential threats that we may have at site. So keeping all this in mind, my perspective is that it is really important to move towards technology which allow us to mitigate the risk, if any, and also allow us to figure out if there is any kind of threats that we may have, also upgrade our evacuation systems at the workplace. So this is it.
Okay, great. Cariappa, if I may, what's your perspective on this integration? So we've seen physical security, we've seen latest trends come in now. How do we integrate to enhance all this?
So, to start with, for efficient facility operations, what we need presently is PPT. I'm sure that so many of you thinking that what is this PPT? It's not PowerPoint presentation. It's a people, process, and the technology. So which one of these three weighs more or weighs less? Whether it is a technology which is more. In my view, presently it could be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or it could be on the technology which is driving towards the larger part. But where it matters at this point of a time is we have technologies and we have people and we have process. Why is it so important for us to look at the technology today? Probably for three reasons. One could be it gives a more efficiency. Secondly, it could be the cost. And thirdly, it could also give a cost benefit. So there is, if you look at any of these three aspects, I think it touches upon all of these three aspects, and there is a cost benefit too in this whole process, while it also increases the efficiency. That's my view on that, Ajay. Thanks.
Sure, thanks. Paurv, if I may ask you, you have a couple of manufacturing units. How has it helped, if we integrate this in a way that we are also using the latest technology advancements And probably these days we have a lot of AI modules which sit on top of, and even those could be retrofitted. So what's your take on this?
Hi, good afternoon, all of you. So just coming back to the question what Ajay has asked, I think the most important function in facilities is security. Often this function has been ignored. We always talk about administration, facilities management, canteen, transport, employee experience. But security, I feel it's the, it's like the face of the company, somebody who is at your doorstep. So security should not be ignored, number one. Number two, coming from traditional security to integration with your latest technology plays a very critical role. To give you a classic example from our company perspective, we had a legacy system of securities, combination of CCTVs, multi-brands. There was not a centralized command center. So then we got a security audit done from, one of the top world's world's top 3 of the companies who came and got the security audit done. And we were very surprised to see the audit report, because a lot of observations were made such which were being ignored, otherwise also because it was never thought of. When we talk about security, only one thing comes to our mind: there has to be a person wearing a uniform, that's it, nothing more than that. But security is much, much more than that. It is a physical security you talk about, it is electronic security. While integrating from the old systems to the new systems, I think we have got a very good role. All the facilities are interconnected, the manufacturing facilities are interconnected, there is a command center. One observation I would like to share with you during the audit, what we faced was, initially all the companies, especially manufacturing units, were keen on making watchtowers. But then when we got to know that watchtowers are the most insecure way of having a security, because if something goes wrong to the guard on the watchtower, by the time help reaches, it's almost done. So then we got the watchtowers replaced with electronic bikes, the fire patrol bikes, because in some areas even the car cannot go in case of fire. So I think a lot of change has happened. There is a lot of evaluation which has been done. And yes, it has a good integration of from old to new, using technology, getting, real-time response, because security, as all of us sitting in this room agrees, it's not a reactive job. It has to be a proactive job. After incidents is done, there is no point in doing a post-mortem. Security is the phase where before anything occurs, the person or the system should be able to give us a trigger. So I think that's my take on that, Ajay.
Absolutely. And as they say, that it costs less to be safe every day than to commit a careless mistake once. Swami, what's your take on this?
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, colleagues, friends, and distinguished guests in the forum. So we all practice security on our day-to-day activities. Security, the definitions of security has gone right from the security guard to security intelligence systems, security safety systems. So this integration of security, the digitalization of security from the physical security has gone beyond like our thinking level. See, initially we were having the security guard at the branches, and gradually the technology the challenges has started coming, and the solutions has started coming in between. So technology has the solutions of all the problems, right? Like CCTV cameras, like control panels, like so okay. So I'm just getting a bit yeah. So fine. So the integration of security from manual to digitalizations, gradually it started happening. So you please continue. I'll just...
Sure. So, Sunita, you mentioned, a bit about the AI part of it and the machine learning part of it, So my next point actually dives a little deeper into this AI and machine learning, with traditional surveillance systems. And how does this improve the detection, and response times?
Okay, so when we talk about traditional securities having maybe a security guards at the site and how they actually take care of the security. Now, when we talk about AI, or maybe when we talk about having a technology, now when we enter in any hotel, we have security systems, we have our bag, tracing system at the airport, everywhere. So how it helps, it's also kind of, when we look at it, it is automated, and we also can see, everything on the screen. It gives us data to analyze if there is any kind of threats that we see, or if there is any kind of, maybe so in airport we also see if there is any kind of behavior, like a criminal behavior or something, all these data actually, all these robotics, artificial intelligence help us to analyze all these kind of situation. So it in turns give us data to analyze, and and also in many company, for example, in our company, I just give example on what
Sure.
we have done in our company to manage the evacuation process. So earlier we used to have a head count which used to be written on the board, how many people are inside, how many people are outside, going for any small trip or something. So everything used to be written on a board of how many. So now, there are such companies or such softwares which give us a tracker which is called head count tracker. So it enables automatically when you enter in the office, it just triggers 1, 2, 3, 4, so this way we actually know how many people are inside. This actually helps us to evacuate more efficiently. We do not have to go to the board and see, how many were inside, right? We can just look at our mobile app as facility and say, okay, these people were inside at the time of any emergency. So this is the way actually AI or any kind of automation in the security help us to mitigate. Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks.
Cariappa ITC being a large group, I'm sure there must be deployment of AI modules for various purposes. How do you think this convergence of physical and cyber security or the automated security makes our security posture more resilient?
Well, I'd like to share a couple of my own experiences before I'll come to that point. I recall it was 2008 or 2009 when I was in US with GE R&D facility. So they have their own guest houses. And I was staying there. And those days, obviously, the mobile phones were not that much available. So it was the room dialing system. I tried to connect to India. All I did was to dial up plus 911 and it reached actually 911. So I didn't realize that actually happened. How I realized was within a fraction of about 5 minutes, there was somebody knocking at my door. And the entire force, it was not the inside security, but it was the department which was managing the city was there at the doorstep. So I could see a lot of things happen. What could have happened in that entire process of 5 minutes is probably the integration of the whole system and the response. That's what happened at that particular instant. And another aspect to the second experience, what I was with Infosys also for a short period of time. And there, even if you go today, probably you'll see the CASF personnel, physical, moving around with Sten guns, patrolling, and that is visibly there. And let's say if we go to any of the ITC hotels, or right here, you will have a huge person with a mustache standing there, right, as a physical guard. So while we look at all this, and why it is there, I'll come to that again. As regards the AI-based system, in my personal experience, we are using a system on the CCTV cameras at our Bangalore center, which has got AI-based response systems, especially on the number plate recognition systems. It's so efficient these days, it just pops up if there is a car which is entering unregistered. So there is a quick response to it, and the people can react and they can stop. So it is efficient. I think in the whole process of doing that, we could almost reduce by 20 to 25% on the manning because of this feature which is available. So there are several other features which we have. Apart from the cameras, we have the access systems and various other stuff. This is my take on the physical versus digital. Physical, though we say it may not be required, probably it is required because that human touch and the experience with that person, what comes in to see a suspicious objects or whatever it is on the contact of it. So this is my take on both subjects.
Sure, sure. Paurv, what do you say? I mean, can we 100% rely on the machine learning? And that is why we are discussing about this integration of physical and, AI. Especially in manufacturing units. So we also have a lot of manufacturing units. And we have faced so many issues, and I'm sure most of us do that, where sometimes, we find that had there not been a human intervention, it could have been a very different, consequence.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Ajay. I think there is a misconception of electronic security replacing, human side of it. That's a total misconcepted kind of logic what we have, and I'm sure everybody sitting in the room would agree, because we are the ones who always fight with our CFOs for getting our budgets cleared. And I very well connect your question is like, अगर 10 कैमरा लगा दोगे तो 20 गार्ड कम हो जाएगा. That's not the logic. That's definitely not the logic, and if somebody is giving that logic, we can't help about it.
So,
but
I should tell you that, because when we proposed this particular solution, they said, okay, so which means we'll have half the guards. So I said, no, maybe we'll have to increase more people to watch the...
So I think, yes, when we go to CFOs for budget, we should show the reduction of manpower, but when the system is integrated, we should not reduce any manpower. Anyway, coming back to the question, yes, there is no direct connection, as you rightly asked. We cannot rely 100% on any AI or any machine. End of the day, human intervention is definitely required. May it be security, may it be housekeeping. Yes, we can always optimize it. This word reduction has to be replaced with the word optimization of resources. Because what happens, a person who does not understand administration and facilities, the only logic is reduction, but that's not the case. It's up to an admin head or a facility head how you optimize your manpower, keeping that in mind. Of course, security guards may reduce, may not reduce, because end of the day, the system is again made by a human. There could be a possibility of system, going wrong. As we in manufacturing sector and even in office sector, if there is a fire, the alarm will just give you a beep. End of the day, people have to come and do something about it. You cannot rely on that beep, automatically it will beep and automatically there will be no fire situation. So there is no such logic of, 100% dependency or 100% trust on an electronic device. There has to be human intervention. Only thing as admin heads and facilities that we have to ensure that we are utilizing the manpower optimized. That's it. That's the only reduction we can give to our, people who are expecting any cost reduction out of this.
Absolutely right. Swami, you would want to...
Okay, you rightly said the combination of human as well as technologies both are required. So I would like to share some very basic things which we have implemented in our organizations. So we manage almost 400 odd branches across the country. So we have 4 security guards around the clock, 3 security guards in 3 shifts and 1 security guard in 9 shifts. So we decided to remove these security guards and go for the digitalizations. So we adopted this analog system of CCTV and we proceeded that. But again, we were not able to control sitting at the head office. So what we decided, we made it the IP based last year only. And we set up a control room in head office. So that we people sitting at head office, we can understand the real-time monitoring and surveillance of the branches, right? And since it is not possible to monitor all these 400 branches across sitting at the head office, we also empowered our state in charges and regional managers to go through this real-time analysis and understand what challenges they can face. So this IP-based security surveillance is the next level of surveillance in the branches. Second most important is the control room, what we talk about at this moment. So for the floors, generally in the multi-story building, we hardly occupy a floor, a part of the floor, because the floor plate size is very big. So similarly, what we do generally, we use analog electrical panels to monitor our fire safety measures and to detect the fire preventively. So again, right from analog to addressable monitoring system is more important, because if something goes wrong, then only the device activates where the incident has taken place. You can only come to know. But if it is integrated with the addressable paneling system, with the building management system, then it becomes easy for building management also to address the challenges and make alert to all the occupants of the building, right? Third thing is the drastic changes in access control system. Earlier, we all were entering into office by signing these physical registers. Right from that, there's a lot of evolutions because of the help of technology. Then we went to this access card system. After that, we went to the biometric system. During COVID, also we realized that biometric system is not possible to work because there's a human touch involved in the devices. Then this comes facial detection system. Now the facial detection system is the new, latest technology, and when most of the offices post-COVID are adopting this technology, it is very easy to handle as well. And now, apart from the offices, this has gone to the different platform. As like traffic security administrations, they are adopting this, like in airports, DG Yatra is one of the right example. It also saving our time, right? It is more or less, it is more that this system oriented process to authenticate someone's verifications, right? And it is also helping the entire transport system to authenticate the traveler's details. But on top of that, I rightly said, the human intervention is very important. Unless we train the people to handle these equipments, it will be very difficult to achieve this, the objective. Like simply in phone, there are thousands of applications, but hardly use 4-5 applications because we never try to understand what exactly it is for. It may cost like $1.5 lakh of rupees, and it has thousands of features, but we don't know because we never explored to understand, or we never try to understand. So what we need to understand that we need also to train the physical security personnel deployed across the site. I will take one more example. Like after implementation of this system, what we understand, how do we know that what is going on across the offices? Maybe their national manager or the regional manager approaching with us and letting us know कि आपके branch में या आपके office में ये problem है. Our admin team are connected with the branch managers or office managers, so they are coming to know from this branch manager people only. So we thought, why don't we interact directly with the security guards region-wise? So we connected all the security guards. We make do and don'ts, right from their physical prospect as well as the technological prospect, and give them training. What a security guard should do. And apart from the training, we started appreciating them in terms of cash, kind, and rewards. So I think this is the right example, right from the manual security intervention to the highest level of digital security intervention. And I'm sure most of colleagues are practicing also. Some of the companies have been practicing much better like AI-based systems. But this is what we are practicing at this moment. And going ahead, right, at least technology has almost solutions of all the problems, but it cannot replace the physical manpower, right? So this is my perspective.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What you're saying is right. Just stepping back a bit on the point that Cariappa you had mentioned. What about the employee security? I mean, while we talk about the infrastructure security, the premises security, office securities, what about the employee security when they are off duty? Does any of your organization work on those kind of things? Because we also realized this, especially during the COVID, that we have to work towards this. And today, I mean, to a certain extent, yes, we have certain packages and modules that we have rolled out, but we are still working on it. So how we do it is we verticalize it, employee security, then the elderly security. So there are certain employees who are working abroad and the parents are staying here, right? And there's nobody to take care of. And that's where we are also working on their security part of it. So are there any such measures which have been taken, your organizations, on working towards employee security?
To a large extent, ITC being on the manufacturing sector, so the people are almost required on ground. Of course, our ITC Infotech has got a segment of IT sector where people are allowed to work from home and all that. To address the question on the security of the people, be local or at home or abroad, there are certain specific guidelines on which we work on, which we call it as a framework, which is again a connect basis physical. We still believe in that. Of course, there can be a telephone connects or there could be some kind of a Teams connect, but still we believe in some kind of a physical connect, especially in those segments. So that's how we are presently looking at, but largely to say that we have very little of that kind of a opportunity there.
Okay, Paurv, what about?
Yeah, to some extent, I think we have been able to, have some kind of forums which are helping security for employees as well. They are not directly connected with security, but it is something to do with their well-being. So we have forums where, an employee has a hotline number. he or she can call on that hotline number, and if there are any grievances, or if not exactly grievances, but if they are having some kind of issues, they can always discuss with the third party. Names and everything are being kept confidential, and the forum tries to help them with, in case of any kind of trauma or any kind of activity which has been going on in his or her mind. So that's the way we have been able to, consider this kind of thing. Keeping apart from that, from the employee per se, yes, facilities are totally well equipped with their security. Because when you talk about security and when you talk about employee, it's an employee experience. As admin managers, we are supposed to give to our employees. Like we usually call, they are our internal customers. So you can classically say the chair on which an employee is sitting also is a security concern. If the wheels are not balanced, if the chair is not proper, she may, fall down, and again it's a security concern. So security is something from the smallest thing to the largest thing. But yes, everything has to be considered in a manner where what is the best can be done and to what extent it can be done.
Sure, yes.
Okay, so in first part we talked about the infrastructural aspect of the security. Broadly we can discuss in two parts. One is the infrastructure aspect of security. Just we talked about the integration of digital systems with the manual system. Second part is the organizational aspect, right? So we being a group of company of Tata, so we have many such platforms where employees can talk about their physical or mental health status. Post-COVID, we have realized that mental health conditions or cases has gone up drastically. And people don't want to talk about. Because the mental health topic is treated somehow with some kind of mental disorder, which people are not very open to talk about in open forums. So what we have done, we have practiced to call a doctor every alternate day. He sits in our office, and not only the people working in our head office can consult them, rather we have shared the contact number where she will be available in the office, and which phone number doctor he or she will be available. And across 400 branches, people can connect during that time to doctor and can talk about in details.
Right.
Yeah. So this is one of the aspects we have developed in this days.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sunita, any views on this?
So more when we talk about security, I also feel it's also about the safety of the employee when they are traveling, right? So of course, many of the companies must be using the travel apps, right? So we have integrated our travel app with the intranet, which actually when you're traveling abroad can give you a notification if there is any kind of situation in that country, maybe terrorist attack or maybe be it any kind of natural disaster coming in. So we actually notify them via this mobile app that this country is right now not safe, and maybe this is the opportunity. While recently we had one incident in Dubai where it was a situation of a storm, and at that time many of the employees were stuck because their transit flight was from Dubai. So this app really helped them to keep them secure. We told them which hotel is nearby. Now that you're transit, you're going to land in Dubai, how you're going to contact us. So it's kind of a safety as well as security that plays also a major part while people are not at work though traveling for work. This is it. Thanks a lot.
Sure. So actually, my point was also there only when employees travel, and especially the female travel or any such other person who's traveling.
Would like to add something about on the same topic. See, generally, safety has been categorized into 4 parts in our organization, where women's safety is one among the criteria, and that is assessed through TBM called Tata Business Excellence Model frequently. So for female safety, there's a strict norms. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. only you can travel. Beyond that you can't, irrespective of the mode of transportations. So you have to travel within that only. Secondly, we admin guys has been instructed to book the hotel, the close by branches, whatever eligibility she is having. But the hotel must be booked by the nearby hotel only, irrespective of the eligibility in that cases. The role of supervisor is to ensure till the time the female colleague reaches to her home and call back to him, him or her, who is the supervisor. So all female employees leaving after 7 o'clock, even in some extreme cases, she has mandatorily to report to 2 people. One is her supervisor, and second the security guard. And security guard maintains the register, and that is available for records for the inspection or audit. So, and we also ensure that In extreme cases only, like month-in cases where the female colleagues playing the very vital role has to stay mandatorily. Otherwise, there's a clear mandate. No one will ask any female employees to stay back after 7. Even she requires to work, then let her go to home and then she can walk from there.
Thank you. And I think time is also up. But to conclude, yes, it's very important to integrate both physical and cyber security and the machine learning, AI, etc., and keep upgrading ourselves through the advancements that are happening on daily basis. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you.